All right, I am here. Can you guys hear me? Gonna try to figure this out one way or another. Looks like, let's see here. All right, you can hear me. All right. Man, I do not like my view. All right, that's a little better. How is everybody doing? Gonna try to do this live here. I am on my kid's phone because my phone is so old it does not work. So I'm standing right next to the phone, so I apologize if I'm loud. I'm going to do one of these marker or Posca pen paintings today, so we're going to hear a little bit of rattling, a little bit of noise. I got to prime them by shaking them up, and I throw them down, so be prepared for a little bit of that, sorry to say. And again, I'm going to try to keep track of the chat on my other phone and see how that goes. So, hello, Josh and Coltron and Ninja, Shattered, Logan. How's everybody doing? Windcharger. So, you have found yourself here on Friday night with the Angry Archer and Aaron Archer at the Toy Armada live, and we're going to do a live draw tonight of Railracer, or I'm going to do a live draw of Railracer, and we'll see how it goes. These things have been kind of very popular, and they've been flying, so that's been great. Thank you to anybody who's participated in that. And I'm just going to keep making them. I got a nice little stack. So show the process a little bit here. So they come, naked, so to speak. I do my rough sketch with a marker, a Sharpie even. And then from there, I just keep coloring them in with Posca. And whatever instructions I have is pretty much the character that I'm doing. So don't worry about that, Alan. We just started. So that's some of the stuff I've been doing this week. Some of the pictures I take, you can't see the silver very well. Obviously, metallic stinks in photography. But so that is how I do it and what I'm going to do tonight. And if anybody has any confusion, I do use reference. I pull that up on my computer just so I have a guide, but I kind of wing it from there. Let's see. Yeah, Josh, I've had a pile of these for a long time, and I would use them at conventions when people, were really enthusiastic about meeting me, but maybe they just didn't have a lot of money or just didn't have, weren't going to buy original art or something, but they were excited to, meet the guy that worked on one of their favorite parts of Transformers. So I would just sign these instruction sheets and pass them on, have a little connective tissue there. And I've been doing Posca paintings for quite a while. This whole guy is Posca. So I've been doing big paintings with them, so I figured why not try to work on the instructions. And it seems to be popular, although, I can only draw again who I have, so hard to do requests, and I'm going to do some fringe figures for sure at some point here. I have a lot of the Omnicons and Terracons. And I also have some merch now. Trying to be a legit internet whatever. And yeah, so there's merch. You can check that out. Toy Armada merch store, separate from my Archer Monster store, just for the ease of all of that. But that's what's going on there. Thanks for pointing that out there. Oh yeah, cool, cool. T Farmers 2002. Yeah, I've a few people have reached out over the last couple weeks since I've been doing this, and I feel like I got a good stash, already, and definitely coming. Especially, hopefully, get some of the main characters. So that'll be cool. So I don't know how far I will get on this tonight, but I think I'll get pretty far. For an hour and a half or so, hour. We should be able to. You'll see the process. Now, I'll warn everybody. This is not going to be sped up. It is what it is. I draw pretty fast, so I'll try to make it interesting. But drawing these things is a little bit like making a meal. It's not too good until the very end. A little bit. It's going to look like a mess. It's going to look like I don't know how to draw. It's going to look like the paint isn't covering. There's a lot of knockout paint with these opaques, so I'm cutting back and forth a lot. So that's what you're going to see, the technique. So don't be alarmed if halfway through this you're like, whoa, that guy does not know how to draw. It all comes together in the end. Believe you me, I've had to sit with a few of these. So I have a few of them on my online store at archermonster.com, and just a few though. And I'm going to keep pumping them out. So with that, I'm going to start. Yeah, being a legit internet whatever is hard work. No doubt. No doubt. All right. I am sitting down now, so I hope everybody can hear me. How is the sound coming through, by the way? All right. So, my approach to this is very rough. I'm not a precision guy. Kind of laying down the gesture I want to have on these things. I've done a few quick roughs just to try to figure out my pose. I'm sure that looks like nothing, but that is how it works. Not totally going in cold, but if you are a Transformer comic lover or artist, I apologize. This is my loose way I draw, so everybody's going to enjoy that tonight. Now, this is just to get a sense of where everything should be and kind of the volume a little bit. These bigger ones are a little trickier. Just trying to be fair to everything. Now I have years of kind of laying out these kinds of things, so I'm not sweating the layout too much because I kind of know how I'm going to do it, and so it might seem like I'm doing this with reckless abandon, but it's working. I'm also going to make this guy very a little more, I guess, Japanese robot. if I can here tonight. I'm gonna give them some points and accentuate some details to just make it a little more fun. These shoulder mounts are the thing that really get me going. That and this long nose that's in the front. Gonna add the shield to this guy. Hey Larry, how you doing? Man, I don't even think I have a PS2 around to even play if I wanted to. I don't know if I want to add that gun or not. Maybe I'll wait on that. Alright, then I start trying to knock in some of the significant details. You know, his knees, those yellow knees are kind of signature. He's got some window details that are kind of interesting here. So this is what I mean when I say I'm kind of a concept idea artist. I just go for it and it all makes sense later. I start breaking it into the parts that the actual, you know, robot design is in, so that I can get some of those little elements that I'm going to want to paint. Little green detail in there, I think. All right. Hey, Frank from Cincinnati, how you doing? Glad you can make it. So for this part of the drawing, I'm just using a Sharpie in a color that'll get largely covered up. It's not, none of this will be seen. And then most of this will be posca. All right. So this gets kind of laid out in color a lot like you would do a screen print or maybe a mural, you know, where it's going to go down kind of flat color all over the place, and then it's going to get rendered, and then it's going to get kind of traced or colored at the end, so that you get a sense of what's happening. Like I said, this is going to look very weird for a while. It's going to be half transparent and a little weird, but I'm blocking out shapes and putting down a first layer. With this first layer, often kind of operates like a primer layer in a way. Everything will stick and go thicker after this. I had these blue pieces of tape on here to define my surface where you guys could see, so I'm already off to the side. For the underdrawings, I only do marker with these because everything's so opaque. Otherwise, I'm just using a pen for my drawings. But that's how I do my underdrawings. I don't think about it too much as long as something flows. So you can start to see how it starts covering after a second pass. And I don't go full tilt on it just yet. That'll be interesting. This one is definitely just to lay down a surface layer. And with these poscas, they're opaque, so they can go on top of, you know, each other, and it's not, I don't have to worry about separating the layers or my zones as much. If that makes sense to everybody. These end up being somewhat fast for me to do. My biggest issue is Posca does not make, you can kind of mix them, but you can't also, so they don't make every color that you would want under the sun, which is kind of a problem from time to time. Because it doesn't let you totally do natural colors, and since Transformers are so many different colors, I've been kind of limited at times. This is definitely one of those points where I'm like, okay, this is the ugly part of the drawing. See, I already messed it up. But you're gonna see how I correct that. To my fellow artists out there, I apologize. I did go to school, but I do my own whatever here. I'm sure this is not how the good people at Posca think how their product works, but that's how I use it. I like to be painterly with it. So what else has been going on? My mother, for those of you playing at home, is still getting rehab, so I'm still back in my normal spot, but no one could tell that tonight. That's what happens when it's not dry. It pushes the paint around on the surface. You kind of have to do it in layers or in zones, otherwise the more coverage to knock that blend out that didn't go right. So then there's a point here where I'm going to determine that the light is coming from the right and start the process of this is kind of funky. I made myself a little reference sheet that I'm looking at, and I'm looking at both toy reference and animation reference, which do not match up. So this will be a kind of a combo guy, a little bit of both. Sometimes what I'll do is with a different color, not black. That is what I use to make a lot of my outlines. All right. Lately, my process about putting these up, to be perfectly honest, I like getting up in the morning about 9 o'clock after I drop the kids off at school. I like to take my pictures in the daylight and post an early morning Instagram / put it on the store at the same time. So if you see it on Instagram, it is likely on the way to the store or has just been put on the store. I don't always do it in the same order. So that's the best I can tell you at the moment how I've been handling it. I like this guy's shoe here. It's a nice shape. It's a nice shape. Good shoe, buddy. Good shoe. This is a really interesting transformer, by the way. Let's just talk about that for a moment. Let's take the opportunity. Like to me, it's a one-off. Like it builds almost uniquely. I mean, even though it's a combiner, it doesn't combine like any other robot that ever came before it, really. It's trained, so it's automatically in its own weird class. And he just looks, when I did Build King today, or over the last few days rather, and the design of that is very chunky and blocky and almost unrealistic. They're almost the kid-fied's version of construction vehicles, and yet this came out in the same development timeline, and just there it is. It's kind of sits weird to me because it's so interesting. It's more in line with the Carr brothers for sure. For sure, it's definitely in line with the Carr brothers as far as uniqueness and complexity. But some of the other items in that line, that particular line, don't match. All right, let me see here. Robot it up a little bit. Make sure that I don't sit my hand in the wet paint. Believe me, I've done that a time or two. too detailed in there yet because I don't have the under color painted yet, so I don't want to have to paint it again or mess it up. So I got to move to a different place. Let's get some more. When these things are brand new and the paint comes out of them, they cover pretty nicely. Wow, each component's 150 bucks. Man, should have seen me at PowerCon. I was selling 2 of them for maybe 50 or 75. One was in the Japanese package. All right. He's got this other weird foot over here. All right, and the wife has landed in Rhode Island. All right, now I gotta start doing what I don't really want to do, but I gotta start moving this paper around a little bit so I get the better angle. I usually draw the heads first, but I figured I'd do a little bit of a reveal kind of at the end. We'll do the head. So it's kind of just continually to build this stuff up. Dries pretty fast, so I can bounce around pretty efficiently. I don't know where RID sits anymore. You know, that was made by Takara, so in order to get it on air, it was sold to 4Kids. And then 4Kids was sold to Disney and yada yada yada. And I just don't know where RID as a anime proper sits anymore. It wasn't one that Hasbro ever owned. That's why you haven't seen box sets and stuff. It might even be partially owned by, I don't know, another Japanese company. So I don't know if they don't use those designs much either. Interesting. Never thought of it that way. Yep, new sideburn. I think I came up with that name in a brainstorm when I came up with all the other dumb names that I came up with. Ruination. I'm thankful that RID came out before Armada, because I learned a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be doing. Some of those names were terrible in RID, or weirdly unique, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not terrible, but obviously not worth revisiting or owning for the long haul, right? So, let's see here. Do this the opposite way. Yeah, when that got packaged up, that all was part of the deal they made to get it in or whatever. So, like I said, Hasbro never had any part of the production or ownership or whatever of RID. So it kind of lives in its own bubble, doesn't it? Kind of making up my own shield using the shapes. That was a big example of just cutting the shape out that I need to put into the piece. Just color that whole part fast. I'm pretty decent with visual shapes, and I can see the distance between the shapes, which is what a lot of art is. So I'm able to pull that off pretty easily, I guess. This dark blue pen, but it is dying. Boo. So, those of you following at home, this is the Toy Armada. I'm doing a live drawing of Railracer and Posca. And trying to use the hour to get far enough along that you can tell what it is. I think we should be in a pretty good spot. No. Those are dark blues. What else can I talk about? Anybody got any questions? Yeah, I came up with all those names. Midnight Express, Railracer. I've told the story, Rapid Run. I had a girlfriend that lived on Rapid Run in Cincinnati. Perfect name for a train, I suppose, so I used it. Yeah. Your sister wasn't named Katie, was she? I'm just making gibberish geometry here to kind of represent the toes and stuff this guy has. And that's it for that one. So, gotta prime a new one. Oh, I don't know if you're getting lucky with a girlfriend, but maybe, maybe. All right, that's nice. Nice and juicy. So what I figure I'll do is I'll put all the time into this as I can, and I'll tighten it up, and it'll probably go up tomorrow at some point. Probably not too early in the morning, but more finishing touches on it. Gotta let it dry all the time here so it can, so I can go in and cut more stuff out. All right. Hey man, I didn't design the robot, but somebody at Takara did. He's got a giant schnoz on his. All right, let's see. How do I want to do this? Well, is it fun watching the soup get made, or is it crazy? I'll have to bring one of these on towards the end where you can really see it get tied together like magic at the end with the black outlines and stuff. Are there any lines that I don't know? I can't say I paid attention to everything that's happened, and a lot of what's happened is stuff that I wasn't into, so I wouldn't have done GMAT or G2 or Headmasters, and some of the stuff they've done doesn't mean I don't like it. You know, I guess maybe my Skylinks opinion is known. I don't know. I don't really think about it anymore in that regard. You know, when it was my responsibility, I took it very seriously, and now that it's someone else's responsibility, I assume they do, and I don't have to. So I don't really look too deeply into what's going on at any given time. You know, I know in general what's coming out, but so I don't know. Wish I had a better answer there, but I don't. Rail spike. That's right. I don't know about masterpieces and whatnot there, folks, but I am doing my thing and I'm enjoying myself doing it. And if you guys are enjoying watching it, then even better, right? This face is a little tricky, huh? Got a lot of little gobbledygook going on. Of course, my reference is backwards for the part that I need. All right. Wow. Really funky head design, really cool. That's another thing with these RID guys. You know, these are characters that I never had to worry about drawing, so this is probably the first time I am drawing this character. I'm going to make these fins even bigger because, again, I'm going for the Japanese flair. Most of you are looking at that going, what did he just do? I don't even know what he just did. Did he do something there? This is the part that I think will be the most fun to watch. I think. Yeah, these are really nice designs. I don't know who did the Railracer. It seems like I don't know, Kobayashi-san or Ajima-san, or who knows? It could be somebody that wasn't even there by the time that I made it over to the brand and over to Japan. No good. It's not working. That's not what I need either, but since I started it, I'll go. do a little bit of the pop on the leg here. Was there a reason for why armor hide and roll bars color change? Is that in the Ruination? Is that what we're talking about? That was me just picking names. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of. We weren't trying to be G1 heavy or anything in the when we were first starting our RID and stuff, because we knew we were going to be bringing these things back. But anyway, I honestly, I say this a lot. You know, we didn't know that there were still people out there that remembered the 80s. I mean, from a toy company standpoint, those kids were long gone. So that was just how they thought about it. And then, so I kind of didn't want to use the Bruticus names because to me at the time on that one figure, I was like, well, that's not Bruticus because Bruticus is these, and you know that's a different storyline, and that. So I came up with names and colors that I don't know. I just thought were cool. I also didn't take into consideration totally that there was already animation, and right, the colors don't match the animation, or did I don't remember. But I think I made the space shuttle blue, right? I think that was a choice I made versus it being part of something. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out, the people that are still here. Yeah, I just went my own way completely on that one. If I'm thinking about it, again, didn't know what I didn't know. So, good answer as anything. Sometimes the little folds in the paper do mess me up, but I make it work. Alright. Sorry, some of this is when the old lefty has to get a different angle. Sorry, folks. So I'll go back and I'll trace these lines a bunch of different times to clean them up and create the right angles if I messed them up along the way. And it gets more opaque with each pass. This is one of those opportunities that I am going to go with the animation colors in certain areas because this guy just doesn't have a lot of pop of color. So I can see why they went that route in the animation. Start to see where we get into some of the detail weeds. You can do it with the trim color. See, I kind of messed up. That's not white yet, so I'm going to have to go back and over that a few times, and I'll have to reapply the orange. And good stuff. Yeah, so I'll wait. Keep calling me. And because of the way I do this, it ends up with this funky painterly feel, which is, you know, kind of fun. So anybody going to TFCon Orlando, I'm pretty sure I will be there. And if you have your own instructions at home and want me to do a head piece on it, I will be doing that. I'll put the prices out ahead of time, but that is one way to get your favorite characters too if I don't ever get to them. Let's see, yeah. Sorry, folks. Move that over a little bit. Thanks. All right. This pen may be dying too. And just like that, we got a robot head. Now I gotta figure out how to make the train look good, but man, I have got music stuck in my head from listening to it a while back, and I can't seem to shake it. All right, so there's that little piece that I forgot. So you can see that I gotta go back in, and I'll probably mess up the orange trim, like right there. Like a series of going over these things a bunch of times and trying to clean it up a little more each time. And you can see here, this is what I talk about sometimes where I'm like, I don't care about perspective and symmetry and some of that stuff because I'm just going for it. You can't expect super technical when you're kind of just splashing paint all around. Some people can, I can't. I'm either stiff and technical or not. And it's usually not. I kind of like making my own little mechanical gobbledygook, so that's fun for me. Let's see. This part of it is why you go to art school. Sorry to say. Or it's easier when you go to art school. Make sense of the weird shapes like this. Give myself a little space for a mouth. And then this is what happens. I end up with, a bunch of pens in my hand, looking for a pen that's already in my hand on the board. All right, where was I going with this one? Somewhere over here. Where was I going with that? So, what else we got? What were some of your favorite things growing up? Well, I am in my 50s now, so Star Wars was certainly big. I'm first generation Star Wars, saw it in the theater when it came out as a 5-year-old, 4-year-old. So I was big into Star Wars, Shogun Warriors, and 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe were my big things, I guess. I always liked illustration, so I had a lot of children's books and stuff that I really liked. So that's some. All right, now I gotta really figure out this nose. I got it a little off here. So let's see. Should be a little lower. So this is an example of how I'm gonna fix something on the fly. will probably do, like I do a lot of these at the end, is I can also give myself a trim border that lets me cut and clean everything up so that both the original sketch overflow disappears and the edge of the drawing can get just tighter. Don't know how well that is to see, but it's another way that I make these things look a little more solid than they are during the process. Like I said, I wanted to lay down just enough tonight that you could get a sense of how I've been doing these, and I appreciate everybody who's stopped at the Archer Monster store to check them out, or the Instagram Archer Monster _ creative. Get a sense of what's going on. They've been really pleasant. I have, of course, similar artwork on regular paper. Different characters from the Armada trilogy, mostly. On the website, I'll be putting out more. But it seems like these, and something about the instruction paper with these is that is what people are after, that's for sure. So I'm appreciative of that. Yeah, it does start to pop off the page, doesn't it? I got a dirty white. Not good. I'm missing some of the pinstriping on these guys. That'll come in. There's some windows back here. So that is largely as far as I think I'm going to get done here tonight. I will definitely be working on this tomorrow. So maybe by the time mid-afternoon or mid-morning comes around, I'll have it finished and up on my Instagram. I think someone has already committed to this one, I think. So I don't know if it'll make it to the store, but I do have 3 other copies of this instruction sheet, as I have, I think, 2 other copies of the build team. So I will be drawing them again in a different format, different orientation. I won't repeat the same drawing with the build king and the heads. I'll do a different way. A little technique I will share is I put my thicker trim on the bottom, so everything that's facing down, to give it the impression of weight and heft. So, FYI, a little graphic technique there. It's supposed to go a little thinner on the top like that. So I already blew it here, and then thicker towards the bottom and gives the sense of weight. helps give the sense of weight. All drawing is an illusion. Nothing is actually there. It's all faking your eye out. Let that one sink in. And we got a special guest star. Did someone already buy the alternator smokescreen? Yeah, that one is definitely gone. Although one of the people sending me a stack of instructions said that they had a lot of alternators in there, so I'm interested to see which ones, because that'll be fun, because those are like more G1-y characters at times, and obviously I'm not going to do G1 characters too often, so unless they were in Universe or Classics, you know, that'll be the best way I'll get to those. And then after I cut it, I can kind of cut it back on the other side and see where I have opportunity to do something interesting. And I'll have to clean up that head a little bit too. So I would say I made it maybe about 50% done here. So you can see these bigger ones take me a much longer time. Just the plain head ones I can do in an efficient amount of time. But these larger scale ones are a little trickier. Gotta get some good. And then what I'll do is too, I'll come in and I'll do the highlights at the very end. So I'll just do a few of them here. You can kind of see. So between dropping the black line in and then dropping the highlights in at the end, yeah, it can come to life pretty quick. You know, I'm just faking it right here for now, but you get the sense. And then I've been practicing these reflection techniques for a while. It's one of the things I was trained on, painting colored glass bottles on a bold colored surface. So like a red velvet blanket with blue and green and red bottles on it, and how the color reflects off the different surfaces and creates new colors, and bottles that are blue turn green, and different things like that. So anyway, I was big into that in college, and brought some of that into here. Anytime I get to do glass, I have a lot of fun on Optimus's windows, if you look. So let's do... I appreciate everybody that's been here today. It's been a smaller crowd than usual because not everybody's into watching somebody draw in slow motion. Yeah, the cat always wants in. The arm is going to bother me. Which part of the arm? That's not done? Just floating there at the moment. So let's see if I can't move this down a little bit. Get this here in a little bit bigger detail. All right, Alan, thanks for being here, man. I know it's a crazy late night, and I just keep going sometimes. But no, the arms are there. There's the thumb and the fingers and the hand, and the arm is going to be in there and connect up there. This red will go away largely. And then this arm is here, and dot, dot, dot. Whether or not I'll put the weapon in his hand, we'll see. Maybe I will, just to have that glowing effect. is kind of where I got to today. Any tips on drawing hands? I do the Bridgman method where, you know, you kind of, the construction of the hand is largely a wedge with another wedge, and then these, you know, digits. And so I kind of will always draw my hands in big shapes first. You know, I am not good at hands. I just know the poses that work for me. There is Bob Layton, which is a comic artist from back in the day. I still think he's working. You know, he would give critiques, and people who had pages, comic book pages, and didn't have good hands, he would always say, "How can you not draw good hands? You have one right in front of you. You know, you can't help but have reference. You might have to transpose it. You might be trying to draw the hand that you're drawing with, and it might not work out perfectly, but you do have reference." So that's it. So that's kind of how I approach hands, as large shaped wedges, and then I just keep breaking them up as I go. But that took a long time to figure out as well for me. Alrighty. All right. I'm going to let everybody go. I'm tired too. We'll see where this gets to tomorrow. And, you know, check out the merch store, Toy Armada merch store. If you haven't got a sketchbook, if you're still into that, I got plenty of those, and I'm going to keep putting up these posca drawings and some of the other art that I have complete. It's going to go up on the site this week as well. So I appreciate that. Anybody that's into that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope this has been fun for everybody. Give a little sense of how I've been putting these together. And that's about it. All right, everyone. Hope you had a good evening. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And we'll see you again next Friday. All right. Talk to you soon. See you, Ninja. See you, Windcharger. T-Formers 2002. Cheesier. How you doing? Ben. A lot of people popped in tonight. Appreciate you. Frank. Cincinnati Frank. Coltron. All right, everybody. I'll check you later.